Evidently, nobody in my family has watched Jaws. Like seriously, what the hell, man?
Well, why
Why
don't
would
you
you?
show them that while they're at the beach?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to. I mean, they've seen it, like Ethan and them, but
I'll just say,
he's
yeah.
seen it.
You want to bring that bad juju to the beach?
Hey, I'll tell you this: the first year we went there, I was excited, um, because I've never really like stayed that long at the beach, a couple days or something, and especially like out on the island. And it was awesome, man. Like all the businesses are just starting, like the restaurants are just starting to open back up and all that, the coffee shops, all that stuff. The little, they've got like two or three little like souvenir shops, but it's not, you won't find like any McDonald's or Food Line or Dollar General or anything like that there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I like that. Get away from all that for a
Makes
week,
sense. Yeah.
and then come back and eat a Big Mac.
I have never been a fan of the Big Mac. Never ever. I know
Really?
it's a combination of things actually. It's just double patties first of all, right? Isn't
Yeah.
there? All right, isn't there? Correct me if I'm
Bread
wrong,
in
also
between.
bread. So there's like three things of bread going on, three
Mhm.
slices of bread. Then not only that, but they've got this type of $1,000 dressing that is smeared upon it, which typically, my friend, throw me a nice salad from Country Cooking together and top it off with some $1,000 dressing. I'm totally
Yeah.
down. You know what I mean? That's
Country
that's.
cooking.
I mean, yeah, I went back to
What
Country
in the
Cooking. I
world?
went back to Country Cooking. Yes, I did. But
Yeah.
that's my point. Is I would throw some $1,000 dressing on top of that. Delicious. But put it on a hamburger for me or something. It just is nasty. So that's all those three things the Big Mac's got going against it. Then it probably's got onions on there too. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. That's another number.
Two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese,
Lettuce, cheese,
pickles,
yeah.
onions on a sesame seed bun.
Like, not a fan of
First of all, I feel like this is blasphemy, and we will continue being friends, but I will probably remember this forever now. That you don't like Big Macs.
I do not like.
You know what's
them at
funny?
all. Now Whoppers are good.
See, I
Whoppers are
think that's
really good
different.
because Whoppers are incredible. Big
Horse
Mac's
meat.
nasty. Quarter pounder with cheese. I guess that's their second runner-up. That one I enjoy.
Yeah, that's all right.
You know what I mean? But what? So why does he say Whopper different?
Um, well, I don't like the Whoppers as much because
Oh,
they were actually selling horse meat, and not here, like over in Europe somewhere. But you're allowed like a certain percentage, but they went over that percentage. So
Burger King?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I mean, they did get caught, but not here in the States. It was over
this
in
part's gonna. Not here in the States.
no, not here. But I don't know. I guess it's because every
How long
Burger
ago was
King I've
this?
gone through, they were rude, man, like really rude.
Oh, did you
Um,
show proper respect to the king?
oh well,
I mean, if you just come running ramshack up into
it
the
was
Burger King and
probably
not
because
showing proper respect to the king, then of course they're going to be rude.
I was wearing his
He's the king's
crown.
subjects. Huh?
Yeah, I did. I was wearing his crown, so it was just sitting there. I don't know. Um, no, it's only been 5 years or so, 5 to 10 years. You
Since
can
you've
look
been to
that
Burger
up.
King.
Like, yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
it's
Oh,
the
it's
horse meat.
the horse meat scandal.
Yeah, yeah. But it was first. It was like, oh, they got horse meat in there, and they were like, well, yeah, but they're allowed up to a certain percentage, and I was like, what? So you actually can have like a certain percentage.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Certain
yeah,
percentage of horse meat.
yeah. Remember when we were growing up, Big Mac was like the big hamburger. Like, I'd always get like the Happy Meal with the cheeseburger, but if I was with like a grown up, they might get a Big Mac, and I was like, oh, a Big Mac. You know what I mean? They're so
No, I don't,
tiny.
because like I said, oh, they are. Big Macs are tiny.
Yeah, because if you're
I,
lucky, at a certain time of year, they do the double quarter Big Mac or something like that, and they use quarter pounder burgers in a bigger bun, so it's much bigger, like it should be. Like actually, I believe it used to be, and they switched it. Mandela effect.
all right. Now let me present to you the sandwich that we have not spoken about yet. I wish we could have. I almost started the show. I almost did when we came in, but this This is good of a point. Um, what was I going to say? Gosh darn it! Oh, I'm throwing a sandwich in here, coming back from the past here to the present. McDLT.
Oh, I love those, man.
McDLT was delicious.
It
That
was
one I
a
love.
well, it was fun because it came in the styrofoam, like the double styrofoam thing. You
How
know
would
what?
they serve it
Remember them?
now? It'd be a box. I guess they wouldn't because it wouldn't be styrofoam.
Yeah. Oh, they couldn't do it. It would already be like together. That was the fun part, like the bun
You don't
and
think they
the.
would just do that? You don't think they would do that like a box, like that same type of thing with the styrofoam, but with the box?
They could. It would be easy to do.
You know what I mean? When you just totally just said they weren't even going to try. Give McDonald's a little bit of credit.
Well, I'm just thinking they saved money. Like now you've got all the touch screens to order and stuff like that. So I don't
You,
know.
you you know what I read too, or recently not read. Well, I did. Speaking of like the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, and all that stuff, and the touch screens, and how everything's just changing, is that how it used to be where these restaurants were they almost their buildings, their architecture itself was their signature.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, of course, for simplicity's sake, McDonald's had the golden arches. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And maybe
Yeah.
they, whatever, their building looked different. It was a brown building or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just
They
this.
used to have the arch in it. You
Yeah, they
remember
had the
that?
arches, but just other buildings too, like where, and for life, I can't think of any other example right now, but other
Pizza Hut.
buildings. Pizza Hut. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yes. Great example. Pizza Hut looked like they had their building that was pretty significant and, unique in
Yeah.
architecture, and it was signified that it was a Pizza Hut. These days, everything is looking the same. Everything that pops up is basically the same thing. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
even restructuring the current places into a one that looks exactly like a
It
box
yeah, a box.
shape.
I was gonna
You
say the
know what
same
I mean?
thing. Yep.
Just a box. With just the plain walls. Every building looks the exact same almost.
Huh. I didn't think I used to be able to pick out a Wendy's because they were just like a brick rectangle. But
Exactly.
I know what you're saying though. Yeah, and even the McDonald's now, even all of those are going more just like a big rectangle.
Yeah, they
Huh.
are. They don't look like a McDonald's anymore. Like not when we were coming up. You know what I mean? Or a Pizza Hut. They look like Pizza Huts anymore. They don't.
I guess they don't care about us anymore.
Okay. Just every
But
nobody's gonna care about these buildings anyway. In the long, I mean, they're gonna look all the same anyway because pretty soon there will be no buildings for people to go to because everybody will just be ordering it. You know what I mean? For the most
well,
part, just ordering it to their houses.
so it'll just be a little small box then, just big enough for the kitchen.
Like Domino's,
Yeah, yeah.
like a Domino's, which has
In a
never
strip mall.
really
Wait,
had
a
itself.
McDonald's in a strip mall? That would be crazy.
A
I see what you're
McDonald's in a
saying.
strip mall?
Like where a Subway is.
Yeah, I mean, just yeah, or just that's what they're gonna. I don't know. I mean,
Wait, they do have some like that where they're just like a McDonald's in a strip mall.
yeah, there's one
Hmm.
in here around the corner from where I live.
It's already began.
There's lots of McDonald's and strip malls that I can think of. Well, not. I say lots, and then two come to mind, and then I'd be
Name
like,
all of
yeah,
them. Go
I know,
ahead.
right?
Give me five.
I know lots of them. So many.
There's the one.
Yeah, and then I got the one, and maybe another one. Not even
Hey,
sure if it's still there.
did you go to Spotsylvania Mall a lot when you were a kid?
I did frequent Spotsylvania Mall. Yes, indeed. Well,
Yeah.
Spotsylvania Mall was. I mean, to me, we might have spoken about this before. To me, going to Fredericksburg was going into the city. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or to
Yeah.
Charlottesville, even
Yeah.
it was going into the city. And I
Yeah.
guess to some extent they are
They are, but not
cities,
like I know what you're saying. It was like
but
going to New York or somewhere like that.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, man, they got everything.
Yeah. And especially Manassas. Manassas was like the king.
Yes,
That was New
this
York.
was the king of all three of them. You're
Yeah.
right, but
We
Manassas
went
was special.
we usually went to like I have family in Fredericksburg, Stafford, actually, but we used to go to Spotsylvania a lot, like the Spotsylvania Mall. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I I don't know if I could find my way to my relative's house. Like every time I go up there now, it's changed, and I have to put it in GPS. Where I used to, when I was a kid, as soon as I got my license, and even before, I'd go and spend a weekend or a week in the summer or whatever with my cousin David. And man, it's just I couldn't find my way to his house for anything right now. I'd have to put it in GPS because I used to go all the way through. Well, now I have to go into specifics or Pacifics, as one of my contractors says, every day. Jesus. Anyway,
Pacifics.
Pacifics. Yeah. Oh my
Pacifics
God.
become Pacifics when this guy's speaking.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It's a
God,
pet peeve of mine. Anyway, um,
you better
I,
end that out if you ever listen to this show.
yeah.
People are like, what
Oh
the?
my God, he does.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
specifically frack him up.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Sorry, Danny. Um, he does actually listen. That's
Oh
like
no,
our one, like one view. Um, no. So we would go through Spotsylvania. I remember when Spotsylvania Mall was being built. I was very young, but I remember like people talking about they were mad that a mall was coming. Anyway, so I'm that old.
wow, you
Uh,
remember that? I don't remember that at all. That
yeah,
right behind
I
you.
was young, just a few years old, but I remember like being alive when it was built. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't actually remember like, oh look, what are they doing? But you know what I mean? But we'd go through there and then we'd go through downtown Fredericksburg, which I loved. That's so nice downtown Fredericksburg. Um, and then we would get on. Oh, we would just take a back way. We'd go through Grafton. That's where they lived, Grafton Village. So it was easy to find. And when I got older, I would cut down and go River Road down through that way. And it's changed so much now, man. I get lost, and I think I know where I'm a guy. So I'm like, I know it's this way. I was like, what did they do, man? Maybe it's the next road. Oh, I'll see what they did. They changed this road, and then Central Park came in, and geez, man. Anyway, I don't even know why we got off on that one, but
You're just,
I was gonna say that the malls are dying too. We were
oh
talking
well,
about
yes,
the
yes,
box
yes.
stores.
The malls are definitely going away. I mean, well, is it your Albemarle Square Mall,
Yeah,
which was
it's
given a shout
done.
out? Oh, what song was that? What rap? Oh God, what song was that? Albemarle Square Mall was shouted out in. You know what I'm
Um,
talking about?
the Billy Joel song. No, I'm kidding. What do you?
No,
Who was it? Was it Dave Matthews or somebody?
Dave Matthews. No, it was Biz Markie.
Biz Markie did that. He
Did
said
he?
that.
Oh, yeah, maybe Albee Square Mall. Oh no. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's just ignore that mistake I talked about.
Well, I thought it was. Well, Dave Matthews from Charlottesville.
Right. Oh no, yeah, I know he is. Yes.
Went back before I do what I do now. I did pest control, and I used to do the pest control at his house, Leroy Moore's house, and oh gosh, the other dude too. Dang, I can't remember his name now. Oh man, it's on the tip of my. Anyway, awesome. All of them were awesome, but Dave has an awesome house. It was an old mill that they turned into a house, but like it's a couple of stories high. But like the bottom floor, it doesn't have walls in the way it has glass panels. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he left like the look of the mill. You know what I mean? But put glass panels to divide the room. It's really cool. Anyway,
Nice.
I think I still have the key to his house.
Well,
I
so
probably
if
shouldn't have
anything
said
ever
that.
happened,
I'm
I
gonna
was gonna say,
edit. Yeah,
if anything happens now, you have
I
to
know,
become suspect right away.
man.
Or you could say, no, a couple days ago I noticed. So somebody broke into my house a couple days ago. I didn't notice they had taken anything, but now that
Yeah,
I
somebody
realize that
comment.
they
Did you
have
listen to
taken the
that?
key,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did
they
you hear
took the
that podcast?
key.
Listen to this podcast, man. We'd get all kinds of.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
We
love
probably
it.
better start a show. What are we talking about
Well,
this week? I mean, I guess we already are in the show, but
we already are, right, guys? Aren't you guys with us right now?
yeah,
Well, I know. Well, thanks for hanging with us through that. But we wanted to talk about, I know, a couple movies I wanted to bring up to you at least that I saw. Um, I thought they were great. I had never actually heard of them before, but it was really good. It had a fantastic twist that I did not see coming at all. So when that happens for me, that really immediately draws me because I've said it before, I think so highly of myself that I can pick up on the foreshadowing of this and be like, oh, I knew it was that guy. You know what I mean?
Eh,
This one I didn't see. but it's called The Reading, and it's got Monique as the star. And I'm telling you, man, it was really, really good, and it just took you places that you didn't see coming at all. I mean, it took me for a ride,
The
a hell of
Reading.
a ride too. The Reading, guys out there listening, if you've seen it, let me know. Tell me what you thought. Again, I never heard of it. I came across it, watched it, thought it was just really, really good.
Is she
So
like
check it out.
a tarot card reader, or did she go to a tarot card reader?
She is not actually.
Or am I
Um,
way off on that?
you're not way off at all. Actually, she does go.
Uh,
I mean, she's not a tarot card reader. You know what I mean? That was answering your first question. Excuse me.
yeah.
She's not. I don't want to say a whole lot about it, man.
All right.
I will say that it's just really good.
Scary or suspenseful thriller?
Both, a little bit of both,
All right.
a little bit of all three. I guess I said a little bit of both. All three, suspenseful thriller.
Yeah.
It's scary at times.
Well, I like Monique. I'll check that out.
Yeah, man, it was really good.
A serious role though. It's not like a comedy, right?
No, it was a very serious role, and I'll say this: I could see why. I mean, I could see why she took it. I'll just say that. As far as acting goes, because I
The
thought it
Reading.
was, yeah.
Where did you watch it at?
I think I found it on Prime. Did it came through on Prime?
I'll check it
Yep.
out because I do like
Yeah.
her, and she has
Yeah.
had some really good, like, serious. She's a good actor.
Yeah. Yep. And she won an Academy Award.
For
She's
this,
not. She's no, not for this,
I
but
was gonna say, man,
she's an Oscar winner.
for which movie? I
Oh,
think I know which one it was, but
Precious.
yeah, yeah, she was
Precious,
Precious
which was a
mom. Oops.
really good movie. I don't know if you
Oh
ever saw
yeah,
it.
she
Oh,
was
it's hard
mean,
to
man.
watch. God, it was
I,
so hard to watch.
I think that was
It
like
was
the
great.
first serious role that I watched her in because I'd
Yeah,
watched it. She was a comedian, man. I
yeah, she
loved her,
is. Still
and then
is.
she was
Yeah,
in that, and I was like, man, she is mean, man,
yeah.
mean.
She played really mean in that. No, she's really sympathetic in this role.
And
So,
that gave us one of our favorite horror series actors. What's the actress's name that the actor played?
Gabrielle.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
who was
Oh my
in American
gosh,
Horror Stories.
she played in a couple of them. Couple seasons. You know what I mean? So she's really good. Gabrielle Sadid.
Yeah, she was in
Yeah,
Covenant and then came back in the.
in a couple different ones.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
mean,
a few of
then
them.
she was most recently in the American Horror Stories.
Yeah,
She played in a really good episode of that.
yeah, that was. I like her in that one.
And I guess speaking of her, I don't know if you saw. I guess I was watching the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars by any chance?
No, I didn't. It's
You
too
didn't.
violent. I can't. No, I actually I didn't get a chance to. Something else going on.
Well, no, there was a commercial that came on with during the Oscars, which is where I was getting that with her. Just randomly, I bringing it up with her and Johnny Knoxville and another comedian who I can't quite think of. We're doing some type of it was almost like a new punk show, but it just seemed like a very interesting trio. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
That's all. Yeah, no, but no, please check that movie out, Jason. I
I'll check it out.
implore you, definitely, and just let me know what you think when you watch it. But it was great. Um, we also, I know Scream also just recently came out, and you and I talked a lot about Scream and how good it was, the most recent one, and
Hmm.
now we had the most recent sequel to that came out. What I thought was interesting, well, it was a huge hit. I think it was the biggest Scream opening of all time.
Which one? The last one or
The
this
one that
one?
just came out this past weekend.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You did. Yeah. It definitely
Out of all the
was.
screams?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so
Biggest
the
Scream opening of all time,
so it's got
and
good ratings.
got good ratings. It did really well. Uh, but it did it without Nev,
Yeah.
without the main girl. That was what's kind of interesting to me. I mean, I'll still see it. I have not had a chance to see it yet. I am very excited to see it. It got good reviews, and just looks really good. They said this whole New York setting just changes the tone.
It
It
did look a
really,
little
really
darker.
helped. Yeah.
I liked it.
And he's
Looks
way
good.
more violent too. They said it was one of the most violent ones. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out.
What if they got rid of Ghostface, but they kept Nev Campbell's character, Sydney?
And she you got rid of go and then that would
Yeah.
yeah, I think that might have her the killer. Is City the killer?
E- Um. Yeah. Let's make her the killer.
Oh, okay. I like it. I can dig it.
Yeah. I did see that Pooh when the Winnie the Pooh got put on Rotten Tomatoes top 100 worst films of all time. You
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
So I mean, nobody really expected it to be great, but I thought it would be okay. I haven't seen it yet. Have you watched that yet?
No, no, I haven't. I haven't had a
You
chance to
didn't
check.
rush to the theater to see it?
Uh, I did not. I did not. I definitely will watch it. I definitely will watch it. It'll be on Prime here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm
Shutterverse
sure.
probably or Prime or Showtime.
It's probably on demand right now, or will probably come on. I don't know. It shouldn't even
You
go
know,
on
I haven't
demand.
seen it on demand. Like usually you kind of see them pop off and stuff like that. Do you recall? I haven't seen it.
No, Knock at the Cabin Doors on demand already.
Yes, yes, that one is. Did you see that?
No, I haven't watched it. I'm almost tempted to because it looks like a good movie, but it's that's probably like the 18.99 to rent. You know what I mean, or $21 to buy. So the last time I bought one, I bought Jeepers Creepers the Reborn, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good because it's a Jeepers Creepers. I'll add it to the collection. Man, I was so mad. And then I watched the movie like the a couple days later that I rented. And I was like, I should have bought that one because that was a good one.
I'm glad you brought up Jeepers Creepers because we have that since our last show. I don't think I've even told you. I actually watched Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I knew you had said it was bad and all of that. We'd already talked about that, right? But I came across it and I was like, let me check this out. Friday night,
What'd you think?
Saturday. I actually thought that the D Wallace Stone
Yeah,
stuff,
the original, the
in the
first
very beginning,
beginning.
whatever, whether
Yeah,
I guess that was like a reality show that they were watching, or it was something that was. I actually thought that was pretty good. You know
yeah,
what I mean? The opening
yeah.
I actually really thought was good, and it was cool to see those two actors together. Who was
Did
it?
it
Who was it?
confuse you at it? Yeah, it was.
Was it Ray, that guy from Twin Peaks?
I'm trying to remember because yeah, he was like a. You would know who he was. I was like, man, how did? I think I said like that was the best part of the whole thing where I was actually confused at first what was happening because it was like the exact same thing that happened with the
It was
original.
like an urban legend, right? That was being
Yeah,
told right through the story. I think that's what it was somehow.
yeah. But did
Yeah,
you see the stuff that I meant like the CG, some of the CG stuff like towards the end of the movie and
yeah. It just wasn't. I'm with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was definitely not as. Which is a letdown to see this kind of see them go down that route. The first two were really good, and
yeah.
again, and then to see the past two films, the quality, the down. It's just that's that sad fate for what's his
It
name, the creeper.
yeah. Yeah. But it was I tried to explain it like it was a like sci-fi did it or you know what I'm saying? Like one of those channels did it. That's what it kind of
Asylum Productions. Doesn't Asylum do some?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, sci-fi has they do something. It's another channel too that does movies, and they're like Sharknado. Whoever put Sharknado out was that
it was
sci-fi?
sci-fi. It was sci-fi.
Yeah, that's what it was like. That was kind of the graphics you got.
What Asylum Entertainment, I think, is the company that is because sci-fi is the network. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then I think Asylum Entertainment is the one who is doing. We just had Cocaine Bear come out recently, so
yeah.
now there is what is it? Heroin Shark. Is that what it is that's coming out?
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I saw something about. It. I was like, what in the world? So yeah,
Yeah, so I think they're the company that does that. That
yeah.
produces
Well,
those knockoffs.
which by the way, I need to send you the new script for our next movie, Methadone Chipmunk.
Methadone Chipmunk.
Yeah,
I can dig it. I like it.
yeah. I don't know.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Send it to my
Fluffy will
agent.
be the chipmunk.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's got the height. No. Oh, hey, what was that movie that I told you to watch and you didn't just a couple of days ago? The one with the where they go to the
Oh my
island.
gosh, something 11 or 13. Oh God, what is it called?
13 Erie.
13 Erie.
Yeah.
13 Erie. All right, let me tell you something about 13 Erie. I checked it out at first and I was like, oh wow. It was like a really cool collection of like people from like all right, it had Brendan Furr, I believe his name is, and he was from Roswell, which was a show I used to watch back in the day. It had Michael Shanks from Stargate SG-1. You know what I mean? And it had some actors that I watched. I was a Stargate SG-1 fan. You know, I like horror, but sci-fi and all that stuff is my jam too. Uh, and what was the other girl from Ginger Snaps? And she was also from Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah.
Catherine
I don't
Catherine
know her name.
Isabel. Catherine Isabel, maybe I can't remember her name either. I feel terrible. Feel terrible because I'm not giving her the shout out. But I checked, so I was like, oh, you know what I mean? The cast wasn't bad. So I was checking it out, and it had a great setup, and some terrible things were happening in that film.
Yeah.
It was a little too, for my taste, a little too kind of crazy and nasty. But I did not get a chance to finish it. But you really dug it.
I liked it a lot because to me, my favorite movie is Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. So the way that I would describe I guess that they were zombies. I don't know, were they zombie experiments, whatever they were.
Yeah. Did they ever actually go back and explain, or is there any type of flashback or anything? Or no, it's just
Just
that little story that they said at the very beginning about experiments that
well
were
that
done.
and well at the end too that well you're not going to watch it, but the guy who like I don't know, he wasn't a park ranger type, but whoever was like
Was he the guy who was
security.
there, who set up and it was walking him around, helping him put the
Yeah,
bodies
yeah, like the
under the
security. Yeah,
bus?
whatever
Yeah.
he worked for the old prison. He was security still for the island, but apparently, yes, they did do some kind of experimenting, and it went horribly wrong. That's why they shut the prison down. And but they thought they had killed all of them.
What was it called? 13 area, right? Catherine
13
Isabel.
Erie,
Gosh, I'm
Catherine.
good sometimes. That is her name.
Yeah,
I just checked it out. Oh,
yeah,
Lee,
yeah.
I
Well,
win the prize.
when
The
she
fun,
sees it, she would
useless
have been
information.
upset because you didn't give her a shout out. So good
Ex-
thing you did.
exactly, exactly. No, but yes, you recognize her though from? Did you ever watch Ginger Snaps? Did you ever see
Oh
Ginger
yeah, I
Snaps?
watched it. There's a couple of those. I don't think I watched any but the first one, but
I believe there's three. Yeah, there's a sequel, and then
oh
there's a
gosh.
prequel. The third one is like a prequel with the same actresses playing sisters in the past. I think
Uh,
that's right. I've never actually seen Ginger Snaps, any of them,
Oh, you
but
haven't? It's a
no.
werewolf thing.
Yeah, I know the
Oh,
premise.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know the premise of it and all. I just never got a chance. I don't know why. I don't
It
know
was
why how
good.
they escaped.
The first one's good. I think I tried to watch the second one, but I didn't care much for it. But I like the first one. It's a good one.
Gotcha. No, well, I thought it was, 13 area was actually pretty, like I said, I love the setup of it and stuff like that. It just got a little gory. It got a little too gory. And Quinn, and he loves a good zombie film too. And my son came in while I was watching a certain part, and it was when the poor girl got caught up in the brush.
Oh
And
man.
Quinn was like, "What are you watching?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when he called it out, I was like, "This is even a little crazy." And
It
I was like,
rem-
"Ah,
that was like a kill you would have seen like in an old 70s horror movie or something, the way that because it was like biting the fingers. They didn't really show, but like you could see like the I don't know. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Like that's why I don't know. It gave me a good feeling when I watched it. I don't know what that I don't
a good feeling." Oh
yeah,
Lord.
that sounds strange, but
A
no, I liked it
euphoric
because
feeling as you
yeah,
watch
like I
these
was like
kills.
yeah, I guess euphoric. That's a good word. We won't use the other one I was thinking. No, I loved it, man. Because when she got into the briars or thorn bushes or whatever and couldn't move, and when they were coming up and like the first time they bit her hand and I was like, oh, she's gonna turn into one of them, she's gonna escape, and then like it bit down and took fingers off. I was like, oh no, she's not going nowhere. You know
That
what I
was
mean? I was
terrible.
like,
Not
oh,
only
this
that, but
is
then her eye was getting all scarred up to the other bad.
yeah, trying to get away.
That was another part that was terrible. It was just like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? What?
I I loved
Please
it.
help.
Well,
Just
I love the gore, man. I loved it, and it did look
she was just getting
realistic. So
tortured. She was just getting
yeah,
tortured.
what a way to go, man! I guess that's what it was. It was a new way of me seeing somebody get killed in a horror movie. Like,
No,
oh, I've never seen that.
now see, like I said, I love stuff like that. I probably will actually go back and finish that movie. I really will because I dig that kind of stuff. It was just there some of the scenes were a little crazy. I
Yeah,
can only imagine they get crazier from there. Because like I said, I saw up until the poor dude who was doing the right thing in all the horror movies you ever watch.
yeah.
His things are skirting around, and everybody's like, "What was that?" You know, everybody's usually
Stop
like,
playing
"Oh
around.
no," everybody's
Yeah,
usually like, "Oh," but that one dude, the medical guy, was like, he said, he was like, "Nah, man." He's like, "My gut is telling me we got to get out of here. I'm out." It's like, "Oh, look at that guy.
I knew
He's
when
doing
he
the right
said gut.
thing."
When he said gut, I knew that it was like a prequel. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the poor guy was trying to do the right thing. Those two hulking creatures caught
I
corner
know,
him.
man. I was like, I'd
That
rather
was
go. The woman one was the one that bit the girl's fingers off. I was like, I guess no. I guess it was just a small man. I don't. I guess there weren't women on the.
no.
I don't know.
I think that
It
was
looked
a
like a
woman.
woman.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I think that was a woman who got her, man. For
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I could understand if they were like fast. Were they fast though? Right?
Yeah.
They still
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. They were run. Yeah. They not running full out, but yeah, they were moving.
But here's something. Can you help me out? And again, I will check it out. How did they come back to life? Or what? Not come back to life, but were they just roaming that countryside? And these people happened to come. Do they ever explain
Don't think
what
that much into
woke
it. No.
them up? Do they
I
ever
think.
explain that?
Well, it had something like at one point there was. I think it had something to do with the blood dripping or something.
Uh,
Like it. Maybe they were
oh
dormant
no,
and
no,
then
no!
they
You know what it
smelt the
was?
blood.
I think it was also that one dude who was trying to light up that joint. He knocked over. That's probably what it was. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Oh, that
he
slimy
knocked
stuff.
over that slime stuff. Maybe that's what kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Which,
Maybe that's wrong.
by the way, if we're ever filming and you drop a piece of equipment into something, slime or whatever, just tell us all. Let us know. Don't try to hide it, wipe it off, and clean it. No, just hey, this fell in some weird black gooey stuff over there, but here you go. Yeah, let me clean it up. Man, it's like, oh, you're gonna kill everybody.
My
I liked
gosh.
it. I thought it was good. If you like Rob Zombie stuff or something, you'll enjoy it. So I liked it.
All right. All right. What else have you checked out?
Hey, did you? I don't think we've talked about Megan yet. Isn't that it? Megan?
Have we not talked about Megan?
I don't. I don't
Oh my
think so.
gosh. Well,
Yeah.
let's please
We
jump
talked
on
about
right into
Stephen
that.
King, and I think I don't know. Maybe we did talk about it at the end of the last show. I can't
Well, let's
remember.
just jump into Megan right now. Then I
Yeah.
don't remember we didn't dive into it. I found it to be a really fun film. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I thought it was a fun film. Scary. You know what I mean? It was more of I, how would you? I guess it is a scary film. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think it
I
was.
wouldn't want that android coming after me or whatever the heck it turned out to be. And then at the very end, too, it kept coming in the little mutated forms and stuff like that. That was terrifying. Yeah, okay, yes, it was definitely scary. I thought we're getting a sequel, you know, to it. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought that girl did a great job too, Allison Williams,
Yeah.
uh, and the young girl who played her. I thought the terrible way for the parents to go out in the very beginning of the film. Just a snowstorm, and they're just sitting there talking. We're just gonna wait here. All of a sudden, bam! To just get hit like that right in the middle of the road. That's terrible.
No, just a regular conversation going on, and I was wondering if there was going to be an accident or something because I knew that she went to live with the aunt, but I was like,
Right.
well, and at one point I thought maybe the father did. So I don't know. They were arguing a little bit, but that was a good movie, man. It kind of reminded me like I don't want to compare it to Chucky too much, but it reminded me like when Chucky came out, and it was just the thought of like this toy, you know what I mean? Is then Chucky started a thing where people, if a doll said something and nobody pulled the string, people would flip out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that thing just made a noise. You know.
You,
But this
you,
one is, to me, a whole lot scarier than Chucky.
yeah, I mean, it was also. It's funny you bring up Chucky because it's almost very similar to the remake of Chucky that came out a few years ago, because that was also like a robotic, as opposed to going the possessed doll route.
Yeah,
That one went with like some type of robotic, you know, AI going bad, or went, you know what I mean, or kind of like Megan.
yeah.
It's kind of very similar to that, except Chucky has way less dancing ability.
Yeah, I don't. I've only seen Chucky dance once. I think
Yeah,
it wasn't a very good dance.
because Megan was rocking.
Yeah, yeah, and I like the way that the story was, to protect the little girl, don't let anything happen to her or whatever, and make sure she's happy. It's like, man, if you were to tell like your kid's toy that, and then you're like, go to your room, or whatever it was, and it's like he's not happy going to his room. It's like, oh, okay, you don't have to go. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you, and even like telling it to shut down or whatever. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, that thing's not going to shut down.
No.
You know what I mean?
Did you watch the unrated version or the
Unrated.
you
Yeah.
did? So you
Yeah.
saw more of the blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was also horrible, that boy's ear getting pulled like that. That was like, oh my gosh.
He was a bully. Don't bully people.
He was a bully, but
Yeah.
that was terrible.
Well, he shouldn't have been messing with the
I
with
agree.
Megan.
You should
Dang.
run now.
Yeah. 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 What? Yeah, he should have. No, it was a good movie. I would definitely recommend that one. Have you done the wormhole like I have and just go down and watch everything on Tubi?
Tubi. The only thing that I have watched, there's a couple shark movies I've seen on Tubi in previous months, in the past, which I thought have been there's always a good shark movie coming up on Tubi somewhere,
Hmm.
that I've jumped on. But I know you have been riding the Tubi wave now for a couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
what is your summary? What of the films that you kind of checked out? Is it a hit
So
or miss? What's the deal?
yeah, it's definitely hit or miss. I really liked Shutter for a long time, and Shutter still does have some premieres that come out and they're okay. But I've gone through a lot of them on Shutter, not all of them, but um, it's just so much more to choose from on Tubi. And yeah, you got to watch the commercials, and vaping is bad for you. Like you're gonna get that commercial. But man, they show like the whole movie. It's not cut or anything, so
I was
it's
gonna say
good.
that's one thing. Even though they have commercials, there's no editing of the films. You get this cursing, the violence, the nudity, whatever
Yeah,
it is that's in that
yeah,
film. You get it.
yeah. I wish they had like some of the streaming services you can pay, and you don't have to watch the commercials. I wish they'd do that, but I don't think that's going to happen with them with Tubi.
No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
You can know, I think, because that's their whole thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way they're. I think it's who is it? Is it Sony? No, Sony owns Crackle. I can't remember actually what company owns Tubi, what studio owns
I'm not
Tubi, but
sure.
yeah, but no, it's definitely interesting. Crackle is also something similar to that, but Tubi, it's one of those uh, channels, streaming channels that has the commercials with the movies, and they'll show,
Yeah.
with those long. How many commercials do you say? There's like two or three of them throughout the thing.
Sometimes it's like one, and then sometimes it's four or five, but they're not long commercials. They're only like 15 seconds or something. So it's worth it though, man. You just, while the commercial's on, I usually like will look at my phone or something, check my phone, see whatever, or, run in the other room and grab some water or something.
Right.
Water. Yeah, I drink water. Um, but I like it. I actually have another one called Screambox. Have you heard of that one? That's through
Yeah, we've
Prime, I
talked we've
think.
talked about Screenbox before. Yeah,
They're
that's
pretty
the
good.
isn't that where that's the one you watched, that Christmas movie, Christmas horror movie, that was supposed to be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the what's his name from Stranger Things?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
So it's
No, no,
it's
no.
good. No, which one?
No, it was supposed to you watched an old '70s like Christmas film, Christmas horror movie or something like that. Or it was supposed to.
That was like
You know,
2 or 3 months ago.
yeah, but it came from Screenbox.
Yes.
It wasn't very good from what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Oh yeah, because then we talked about there was one of the um I don't want to go down that whole trail because that's anyway. Screambox is decent. They do have some good ones on
There you
it.
go.
But I really like Tubi. I like what Tubi has on there. And right now I'm on a found footage thing. I used to like the found footage ones a lot. And then dude, there's like so many on Tubi, and a lot of them are not good. But every once in a while, you'll find a nice little gem.
Right.
So, not bad. Not bad.
Huh. Well, there you go. Yeah, man. I definitely, Screenbox is something I have not dove into, but I definitely am all about Tubi. And I know one I didn't mention the what was it, the river? No, what was it called? 'Cause I turned you on to that film, I think, which led you down this Tubi path. Maybe I'm wrong
Oh,
about that.
no, you did.
Um,
I'm trying to
what
remember
was
it
it
now.
called? The tubing. They were tubing
Yeah. Oh gosh, what was the name of that movie? It was something to do with the tubing or whatever it is.
because I think we talked about it on the show about it. So it reminded me, or I think maybe it was off the show, that the water scene with the rapids were supposed to come. There was a lot of like just
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not faulting them, but it's just
no.
we're out there trying to do the same thing. But it's just funny. It's just funny.
Well, I can tell you now that I know that if I told my actors, there's one scene where you guys are getting like thrown all around under the water, hitting rocks and this and that in the rapids. So let's go film that. Be like, let's go like downstream just a little bit. So we'll just make splashing like.
That is funny. That is funny. You don't think we go for it? But do you remember that scene that I'm talking about?
I
Though
I do. I
it
do.
was no, there was definitely some interesting choices for that film. I wish we could remember the name of it. But you might have been the other one you told me about. Oh God, what was it? The box? No, where those people went. It was another found footage when they went to they they met with this person that wasn't even supposed to be at the house,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then they
Oh,
went out into the
it's
woods.
supposed to be some hidden box up in the woods or something.
Yeah,
And
and they found the box in the cave and they opened it
yeah,
up. Yeah, and that guy
yeah,
was
that
missing.
wasn't bad. That wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
No, but I think that was from Tubi. That might have been the
Yeah,
beginning of
that
the
was.
Tubi dive. Those two films were the ones that
Yeah,
led us down this Tubi
that.
path.
Yeah, you told me about the one with the rafting, and then the other one I watched that, or I actually watched the other one first, and
First,
then
that's what
had
I'm
to go
saying.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You were
yeah.
definitely watching. The other one was definitely came before that.
I've been trying to almost every night watch one because some of them are only like 70 minutes. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they're not bad though, man. Some of them aren't bad.
All
And
right.
it's you can usually tell within the first like 5 or 10 minutes whether you want to keep going or um and those are like what BT Haunts is. A lot of them are, smaller production companies, and they put their stuff on there. Like we can put BT Haunt stuff on there, which we probably will. Um, but I think it's funny, like some of them, how a lot of horror movies they have a habit of showing the women like,
Right.
whatever, topless or whatever. And remember Friday the 13th, you were almost guaranteed to see him. Like if you didn't, there was something going on.
Right.
Like wait, man, there's no women like naked yet. What's wrong with this movie? They've already killed two people.
Uh,
No, but it's like they throw those in there, and I was like, man, you didn't really have to do that. You know what I mean? Some of that stuff. I guess I'm getting old, is all it is.
right. But some of the Tubi movies are definitely throwing them in there
Oh yeah, yeah.
all the time.
So like they must be paying. I'm thinking they must be paying them actors.
Now all of a sudden everybody's gonna be like, "Well, let me check these movies out more now." They
Yeah,
realize that was all
I,
going on. Which ones are the ones we need to watch?
yeah, exactly.
So we talked about Scream or a little bit earlier, but I don't know if we caught up. I don't know how we got off of it. Actually, I do because that's how we do. But the fact that Scream did so well and it did it without Nev Campbell, what do you think that says? I mean, do you think she's going to come back? I mean, neither one of us have seen it yet. I definitely want to see it. We'll see it soon. I think I might see it in the theaters. Um, What do you think that says? Do you think they're going to bring it back, or was that just a clear sign that you
Um,
know?
no, I'm fine with something like that. I think it was a good choice by them. Um, I just think that sometimes you have to move on, but you have to have a good story, and it sounds like they did a good job this time. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So, and sometimes like, it's taking place in a city. It's totally different. You know what I mean? So they didn't just like leave, they didn't just not write her in this one. They moved altogether away from it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I I'm fine with doing that. I think sometimes they need to because it gets stale if you have the same characters. I mean, what Tommy Jarvis, they threw one in between. Well, no, he was in that one too. A New Beginning. So he was actually in three of them. But didn't they have him come back in oh, that was just a fan made movie where Tommy Jarvis showed up at the end or something like that.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
So I'm fine with it. As long as you have the who the killer is, the main character, you Jason, Freddy, Ghostface,
Right.
Leatherface, stuff like that. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, they go off script all the time, but they have Leatherface.
Do you think this the Scream movie is a little different because it's not really, it's not the killer, or it's not a killer. It's just more along the line of the disguise. You know what I mean? Freddy's Freddy, Jason's Jason, Michael's Michael.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The leprechaun's the leprechaun. I,
yeah. So
I
you're
mean,
saying Ghostface can be anybody, and he
right.
usually is. So
Yeah. I mean, do you think that takes away, or do you think that still cements? I guess it does. Him as does that take anything away from him being to be able to ever achieve being on the Rushmore of horror
yeah,
guys?
no, I guess it doesn't. To me, it doesn't. Um, I don't know. That's a good point though. That it could be anybody. Remember which one? A New Beginning, not A New Beginning. Yeah, was it A New Beginning or Jason Goes to Hell?
It was. It wasn't. No, it was the New Beginning when they tried. Well, it was twice actually. To your point, it was two times. A New Beginning is when that was nobody. It was a guy pretending to be Jason, the ambulance driver.
Right,
You know what I mean? So Jason was never ever there. And
right.
then Jason Goes to Hell. There was no Jason. Well, he was Jason, but he was leaping. His spirit or
Yeah,
demonic spirit
demon or whatever it was.
demon was leaping from body to body until the very end.
But I
But
hated that. I thought that was terrible.
right, because it was not Jason,
Yeah,
right? Even though it
yeah,
was Jason, it wasn't Jason. So that's almost the flip side of the Scream thing, is what I'm saying.
yeah. Well, it seems like it's working for Scream. I definitely want to see Scream. I think
Oh,
it's
I
going
did
to be
too.
good.
I said it more and more most violent ones.
So how
Yay!
long? What's it been out? Like
Oh, it's only been out 1 week. It's only been out a
one
week.
week.
This will be the second week. Speaking of which, it seems like or it seems like movies are back, man. Starting with Ant-Man a few
Yeah,
weeks ago, boom. And then we had right after that, the Creed 3, boom, huge, opening. Then Scream, huge opening. Shazam this weekend, hopefully huge opening.
it will
Then,
be.
then John Wick,
Yep.
uh, I think the weekend after that. It's just like, bam, man, summer's here. Or summer's even, it's been a weird 3 years with theaters and all that stuff. But summertime movies usually they start once upon a time they started on Memorial Day weekend. Then they always kind of moved up, but then it was the beginning of May, and then it was almost like April. So now we're here in March, and we're getting this huge wave of these awesome films right in a row. Uh, Theaters might be back.
Well, I think so. I think it is, but I think it's also that um a couple of years ago, even a year ago, a movie could
Oh,
come out
right,
in the theater but come out at the same time on demand. Like you could watch it, but and you still like Knock at a Cabin Door. That's on demand right now.
right.
But there are some movies that Marvel movies, it is best to see them in a theater. Something like that. There are certain
Oh,
movies, like the
yeah,
Indiana Jones movie that's going to come out soon, like the newest
right,
one. That's one. Any
right. I
Jurassic Park, Avatar, stuff like that.
I agree, but I guess what I'm saying too is that the opening numbers for these opening weekend grosses for these films have been like really almost pre-COVID numbers. You know what I mean? As far as like it happening in March, you know what I mean? There's been huge openings, and
It's because we have no patience. We have no patience at all anymore because when we were growing up, uh, if you went to see a movie, it was going to be at least a year before it came out on video, that you
Right.
could rent it. So if you didn't see it, you missed it. Like you didn't have a shot. So I think it is now that the movies are good enough that they've gotten back to that point where you can't even wait like 2 or 3 months. You know what I mean? Like you want to see this. It's going to be a good movie. You've been waiting for it, and I don't know. I think we're not patient enough to, because there are some that I want to see, and if it's not going to be on demand in a couple of months or even a few weeks, then I'd rather just go to the theater and watch it.
Right. I feel
Maybe
you.
I'm the other side of what you were
No,
thinking.
I mean, no, I think we're kind of saying the same thing. I also like the fact that they're going to be out in very soon and be able to watch it in the comfort of my own home, except for Marvel movie and stuff like that. I'm just saying it just seems to me that this past few weekends they've been huge box office numbers compared, the
Yeah.
past, right weekend after weekend. Even I neglected to mention Cocaine Bear. You know what I mean? That came out right after Ant-Man, and that did really big numbers. You know, yeah, I mean, it's just some great movies out right now, and some
Did
that
you
I think are designed. Like I know Creed 3, Ant-Man I saw because I you had to see that in the theater, like you said, Marvel. I wanted to see Cocaine Bear, but you can watch Cocaine Bear now. That's one of the ones you just talked about.
on demand?
You can watch it in your own home right now. You got to
Oh,
pay for it. It's one of those ones you got to pay for. But we're
like
talking 2 weeks later.
19.99. If
Yeah,
they're
but
still in the theater, it's like more, but it's still
yeah. Dude, that's
okay.
great. I think we might actually do that. Here at the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We
would
typically
watch it.
don't, but that'd be a fun movie for all of us to watch. And I know all of us want to see it.
Cocaine Bear?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a true story. I mean, it's loosely, I guess, but it is a true story.
yeah, it is. Yeah, this bear did find cocaine. He did not go on a rampage. He died
No,
soon.
no.
He died soon after, but he did the cocaine or ate whatever he ingested the cocaine.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
But
think
yeah,
that's pretty
no.
wild.
And then the drug dealer was dead too. They found him in the woods. Uh, but yeah, no, I'd say it is. But no, I want to see that. It looks fun. It looks like a fun movie.
I'd watch it. I'd like to check it out. Maybe we should check that out sometime. We'll talk about it on the next show or something.
Well, give me any movie that's where the animals are turning against humans. You know what I mean? I do. I like any type of animal attack film. We've talked about this before. I love a good shark movie. That goes to say I love a good prey. What was it? Prey? Is that what it was called?
What?
Um, with Idris Elba and the lion.
Oh, oh, was that? Yeah, yeah. No,
It was
wait,
called Prey.
that wasn't that the same thing, the same title as the newest Predator movie? Wasn't that called Prey?
Oh, that was called Prey. Yeah, well, I don't know what was that Idris Elba movie called it, but
It's something like I know what you're saying. But
yeah, um, that those type of movies,
yeah.
lion attacks. I love a good movie like that. So I'm
Do you
definitely
think any of them will have the same caliber as Jaws?
Beast is the name of the movie.
Beast. Yeah, that was a good
I,
movie too, by the way.
no, I think Jaws is the crown jewel. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I, I remember what Grizzly that came out in the
Oh,
'70s.
Night of the
Um,
Grizzly. Night of the Grizzly.
Yeah, but
Is
there was
that
one just called Grizzly also. There might have been 90 Grizzly. I'm sure there's probably multiple, but there was one definitely called Grizzly. Where that's what I'm talking about. That was a good
just
old
Grizzly?
70s horror film. Yeah. Um Came
Was
out in
that like a
76.
was that like a Saturday afternoon type thing? Like Trilogy of Terror and stuff like that?
Oh no, it was a movie. I think it came out in theaters or whatever. It was, it was like they made a whole bunch of those movies where the animals or beasts were
Yeah.
attacking in the
What
70s,
which now the one I'm thinking of, Night of the Grizzly, was the one that takes place like in the late 1800s or maybe early 1900s, and um, the grizzly bear is killing his cows, and he goes after it to hunt it or whatever. But this guy that he's had some issues with comes out there, and they used to be friends, they're not anymore, and
It's like an old western.
yeah, and it kills the one, like the comic relief guy. He has a donkey or a mule or something, and the bear
Uh,
ends up killing the mule and ends up killing that dude too. But
Big Jim, Big Jim Cole.
oh yeah, yeah, Do you
That
remember it or are you looking at it?
I am looking at it. I never saw it.
Oh,
I never
I
saw
thought
it.
you. Oh man, it's good.
Looks like an
It's
old
good.
western. Came out in '66. It came out came
Oh
out
my gosh.
exactly 10 years before the one I was just talking about, Grizzly, which was '76. Yours came out in '66.
Well, I'm gonna have to find the Grizzly when you're. I bet I've seen it. I
I'm
think
sure
I've
you
seen it.
have. I'm sure you have, man. It's like I said. There's a couple good, just like with bees, a
Uh,
couple good ones, Swarm, all those good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love a good movie like that where Kingdom of the
Or
Spider, you know,
oh,
uh,
arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. Kingdom of the Spider. Is that what you just said? Was that the one with
yep,
William Shatner?
that's exactly the one with William Shatner.
I just watched
Yep.
that not long ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah. All I could think of was like, oh my god, how long did it take to put all that web out there? Like the fake web.
Yep. How?
Man,
Where did you come up? Did you seek it out, or you just came across it?
just came across it again, and I remembered it, and that might have been one on like Prime or something, maybe on Shutter. That might have been on Shutter. But I
Okay.
remembered it, and I that was one that you would see on like that Saturday afternoon or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. That was what like that's like gargoyles.
Yeah, gargoyles. Oh, I love gargoyles.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you do. That's why I brought it up because I thought that was a good reference to say that's those Saturday morning, not Saturday morning, but Saturday afternoon type of movies that
Yeah,
would come on. They were in that rotation.
it was scary back then, but I watched that one about a year ago, and not as scary.
Which one? Oh,
Gargoyles.
oh, gargoyles. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I don't remember all this.
is
So
not as scary.
yeah,
I never saw it, except, and I don't know if it was made for TV or if it was actually came out in theaters or what. But I only saw it on,
it was probably made for TV, I would think.
and I only
Oh
saw it on TV. I never saw it like
yeah,
on VHS or anything like that.
it was good back then though. There was a
Yeah,
bunch of them like that.
I
There was
always came
a.
across it when I was down in North Carolina, down at my grandma's house. That's when I always somehow come across it.
Do you remember Legend of Boggy Creek? You remember that movie?
We've talked about that. I've never seen it.
Really, man, that's like that was one that I remember watching, and it scared me. Like I was young, I was probably only like 7 or 8, and
Right.
just the whole thing, about Bigfoot. And I think I watched it at my Aunt Lane's house, who was actually my mother's aunt. But I remember watching it, she's like, oh, yeah, those are real. I never heard of a damn Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Boggy Creek monster. I'd never heard of nothing like that. But my aunt just told me it was real. And where she was babysitting us looked exactly like that place. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyway,
Oh my goodness.
I remember
Got you all hyped.
yeah, do you remember Kirk Jennings, Mr. and Man Jennings? And,
Yep.
so where my aunt lived was right next to him, and we used to go over and play with Kirk. You know what I mean? Mr. and Man were both older, but Kirk was Shane's. Anyway, to get over there, you had to go across this little creek, that had trees around it. And it reminded me of Boggy Creek, the Legend of Boggy Creek. So I was scared to always like go and cross it. Anyway,
Oh my.
uh, yeah.
Oh man. Oh, my friend, I think we are coming up against the hour here.
I think so. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I've told you this probably 1,000 times. I'm going to take a little notebook to where I watch these movies, because half the time I watch, before we do the next episode, I'll probably watch 5 or 6 more of them, and then
Do
I'll get
that.
on the show and be like, I watched this one called, and I won't remember it. So maybe I need to write it down, and then I'll just put a check beside it. Yeah, talk about this one because that one was good. Don't talk about that. So anyway,
I love it because I'm sure you've come across ones that, maybe need to be shot up a little bit, but are probably pretty good, like you said. And I would like to be able to check them out.
yeah, I was I thought about making some DVDs of BT Haunt's productions, like a couple of things just for the heck of it to give out to people or whatever. And I was doing the outside cover for the case, and I had to go measure it because I didn't know like exactly how to line it up. You know what I mean, for the pictures and the title and all that. So of course the one that I got was Ernest Scared Stupid. So, which is a great film.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very
Anyway,
cool.
I don't know where that came from.
I love it. I love it. Well, cool, my friend. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. But get that notebook there, write those films down so we can talk about them because I
Yeah.
want to check some of them out, man. I do. So, guys, don't forget if you're looking for some good horror flicks, always check out Tubi. There's some great ones there.
Hmm.
Some good shark ones too. If you guys are into the shark films like I am, there's definitely some good shark attack ones. Jason, have you even checked out any of the shark attack ones? Nope. You just don't even want to
No,
admit it.
no, I told you we're getting ready to go to
Oh,
a
that's right.
beach, man. I don't want to watch. What are you trying to do to me? I don't want to
No,
watch
you're
that.
right. You're right. You're right. Don't want to get all. I don't know. I will say sometimes I like watching a shark movie down there at the beach.
I'm not going. I'm not. No, I saw a big shark fin the first time we went there, and I said it looked like a shark fin. I was out in the water trying to fish, and it went by, and then I saw it again come back the other way, and it was closer this time, but the water is also it
Right.
was starting to come up. The tide's coming in. So I didn't think much about it. I had my bucket of like fish or bait or whatever. And then that night, nothing happened, of course. Still got fingers and arms that didn't get eaten. But that night I did see where they were tracking an 18-foot great white off the coast of North Carolina. And I was like, wait a minute.
That's a scary
I'm
story.
I'm off the coast of North Carolina. So anyway,
That's a scary story. I don't like that
yeah.
story.
Yeah, not getting in the water anymore. Whatever.
No, sir.
Nope.
I feel you. Well, my friend, we will talk before then, but always
Yes.
keep one eye out there in the water when you do go out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
as I always do. But yes, guys, thank you very much again for joining us. We do appreciate it. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate all of your comments. Appreciate you guys watching every week. It is so much fun to do this. Jason, I hope you have a good one, my friend.
Yeah, man. And Lee, until next time, remember that the darkness of the soul is much more enjoyable than the light.
On that note,
Yeah, no. Uh, yeah, on that note,
yes, no,
yeah,
guys, words to live by, said by Jason.
yeah, yeah.
All right, guys, you take care. Later.